Sippy cup. Let me see. Drink it. She's drinking it so perfectly. Let's see. Hold it. There you go.
Hey, welcome back. This is week 5 of 1 teaspoon at a time series. We are doing Kaidynce's week 5 update. This week we went back to the OT after not going for 2 weeks. Our OT was actually on vacation, so she was back and everything went really good. She basically, I told her about us switching formulas, and she told me that it was completely normal for a kid to, if a child is like constipated and throwing up and stuff like that, they're in therapy with her, or just in general, typically they do get very protective over what's going in their mouth at that point. It's just like a defense mechanism, and so she wasn't surprised that Kaidynce had another regression. Also, she wasn't surprised that we are barely getting her back to where we basically were when our OT had went on vacation. So Kaidynce right now, like I think I told you guys in last week's update, is still only taking maybe 1.5 to 2 ounces, and that's per day. But she wasn't too worried about it. She said that we're doing a great job, and she actually has set a new goal for us. She's seen Kaidynce eat her purees, so she knows that she can eat them. I let her know that Kaidynce has been using the mesh feeder, which I have right here to show you guys. So I put fruit in this, and Kaidynce will munch it down to like a pulp. She loves strawberries in this, so I try to give it to her, just different kinds of fruit once a day. But I told her that she's been doing the fruit in the mesh feeder, and also she actually this week drank from a sippy cup, and it was one with the spout, so that was really exciting. And because of that, our OT decided that it was time to set a new goal. So that was really exciting. Our new goal is going to be for Kaidynce to start chewing. So in order to get her to start chewing, we're going to be using like all of the same products and the tools that we've been using. So I'm going to be using her nuke brush. You can see it has like little ridges on it. And so I'm basically dipping it into her purees and putting it on each side of her mouth and having her kind of like chew down on it in order to get the effect, so that she knows what it feels like and kind of like gets an idea of what to do. And then she also wants me to use that mesh feeder that I put the fruit in, and instead of just giving it to Kaidynce and letting her like do what she will with it, she wants me to actually like sit down with her and have her chew to get the juices out from each side instead of sucking on it, because right now Kaidynce is just sucking all the juice out, and then she'll kind of like start to like move it around to get whatever else she can get out of it. So I have to like make sure that she's chewing it to get the juice out, or at least like try to teach her how to chew it to get the juice out. So those are some of the things that will help her learn how to chew. Sorry. And then typically whenever we go see the OT, we always get homework. So I'm just going to read you guys some of the homework that we got. The first one is to offer cut fruits placed on the tray for Kaidynce to lick and to taste. So when we are feeding her, we're supposed to, when I put the fruit in the mesh feeder, we're supposed to put out fruit for her so that she can get an idea of what it feels like, tastes like. She can put it to her mouth. It's kind of like doing baby-led weaning. So she's gonna like start to experience and explore and play with her food a lot more. So it's gonna get a lot more messy. Even with like the purees, they want me to dump the puree onto, not all of it, but some of it onto the tray, and then as I'm feeding her, she can just kind of like put her hands in it, touch it, because I've noticed Kaidynce already does like to do that. She'll stick her hands or her fingers into the jar and just like lick it off and stuff. So she's already starting to like to play with it. She'll get it and just like rub it in her hands like this and stuff. So she already kind of is telling us that she's ready to go on to the next stage. So that's a really good, that's really good to know. So we're doing that. We're also continuing with the mesh feeder. We're placing it, like I said, on each side of her mouth so that she gets the stimulation of chewing. And then we're also, whenever we're feeding, and we get to feed her before every single one of her feeds. So Kaidynce gets fed by the G-tube 5 times a day. And now before what I was doing is only doing it either twice a day if she met the 1 to 2 ounce of puree that she's supposed to have. And if not, then I would do it 3 times a day to like add one more in there to see if she'll eat a little bit more. But now what we're gonna do is let her eat before every single G-tube feed. And so that's just to like make her aware that she's supposed to be eating several times a day, and to hopefully like start to encourage it a little bit more. Like she's no longer tasting, now it's like actually eating. Like now she's eating to get full and to get nutrition instead of just trying to like taste little things in order to get her to like, you know, a little bit stimulated and more interested in it. So that's a huge step for us. So that's really good. And so with that, when we feed her any type of like fruit or anything like that, we're supposed to sit down and eat the same thing, because what the OT explained to me is babies her age, she's only 1, they tend to mimic a lot because they're like little sponges and they're soaking up everything. So if the babies see us eating, then they're more likely to be interested and want to emulate what we're doing and want to eat the same thing in the same way that we're eating. And I've noticed that because if we're eating something, she always like wants to come up and wants to try it. And so even though she doesn't want to take a bite, she wants to pretend, or she wants to hold the fork if we're eating and like pretend to feed herself. Even if she doesn't put anything on the fork, she likes to pretend with it. So we're doing that. So we're doing the 5 times a day feed. We're doing actual fruits on her tray, and we're also doing mashables. We set a new goal, and hopefully soon, hopefully like within the next month, we'll be able to attain the goal. What our occupational therapist said too is that once she starts to chew and once we reach that goal, we no longer have to go to OT every week, thank God. It'll only be every other week. So we're slowly working our way towards getting Kaidynce to eat more food. And to show you guys her sippy cup, because I'm so excited that she actually drank from a sippy cup. So I bought this one. It has no spout. It's just kind of like a cup. And so I was talking about the emulating. Whenever we drink from a cup, she wants to drink from a cup. And if we put it to her lips and we like can control it, she actually will. She'll drink from a cup. But she wouldn't drink from like a bottle. Anything with the spout, like I've told you guys, she won't drink from. And so I thought, like with this sippy cup, it's kind of replicates a regular cup. And so she was like not averse to it. So she took to it right away, even though she doesn't always drink from it and she'll like toss it. She's not very interested in it, but she will drink from it. And based from her drinking this, she actually drank from a sippy cup with a spout earlier this week, and I'm gonna include the clip in this because I'm just like so excited. So she's really making progress. Even though she had the 2 setbacks, she's like really making progress this time. Hopefully no more colds. Hopefully we can like keep her from anything that might disrupt her her path forward. But yeah, so it was a really good week. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.